Hello, my name is Michael DiBacco, and today I'm going to talk about how to be kind to yourself while staying motivated. While their college education can comprise some of the best years of students' lives, it can also include some of their most stressful. Expected to juggle their academic, social, and extracurricular responsibilities, students can feel overwhelmed by the commitments that they make during this time to try and ensure that they are reaping the most personal benefit from their university experience as possible. Therefore, it is important to continually contextualize your reason for being at WVU, recognizing that you have peer and professional network ready to assist you, and cut yourself some slack when you're struggling. So, why might you start to feel burnout, and how can you notice the signs? Knowing when to give yourself a break involves, most importantly, knowing yourself. This starts by reflecting on what it is that drives you, as well as what your limits are when it comes to stressors and commitments. Exploring the root of these issues, as well as their symptoms, can help us lead happier, healthier lives. College is a time to overachieve, right? To say yes to everything that comes your way in the hope that you'll find something that you are so passionate about that you'll want to do it for the rest of your career. Well, while it's great to take advantage of all the opportunities afforded you here at WVU, you must act within reason. Stretching yourself too thin will not only result in you compromising yourself within the areas of your life that you really care about, but your mental health is also bound to suffer. If you are starting to disengage with people who care about you and the activities that give you life, this may be a sign that you need to reprioritize. In our work centric culture, there's often a stigma associated with focusing on yourself over the various responsibilities that you may have assumed. However, if these commitments are making you feel anxious or depressed, apathetic or overly self conscious, take a minute to reflect on how these stressors do or do not influence your journey towards self actualization. If you realize that the unreasonable expectations that you or others have for yourself are a detriment to your well being, putting yourself first is an act of kindness and not one that bodes poorly for your motivation or your passion for the things that drive you. By coming to terms with our emotions and being as compassionate with ourselves as we often are with others, we can learn to serve as our own best advocate. By learning calming techniques and methods to balance all that we are, we can take the first step towards real fulfillment. Our emotions and racing thoughts can only rule us when we become too caught up in our own heads. Try meditation, exercise, or any physical activity that grounds you back in your own body. Another thing that I have found that helps is to create a life blueprint, including all categories that comprise your identity, your relationships, your dreams, your career, etc., and whom you aspire to be within those areas. This will help give you some perspective on the things that do really sustain you and the things that you may need to put on the back burner. So, what can you do to reprioritize? Open communication is key when voicing your issues, as others must know what you are feeling in order to empathize with you. Everyone goes through these struggles, you are not alone. Odds are that if those with whom you collaborate are aware that you are struggling, they will not only understand, but may even offer you assistance or resources that can help you feel better. This process doesn't mean that you have to lose momentum either. Simply reinvest your energy into commonly overlooked but incredibly important areas of life, such as your family and friends, and you are on your way to a more sustainable future. You are more than the sum of your responsibilities. As students, it is often easy to think that our self worth is defined by the grades we receive and the opportunities that we create for ourselves in the classroom. While it is great to continually strive to be the best version of yourself, it is not only wrong headed, but actively harmful to think that you're defined by these successes alone. The most important input on the choices that we make must come from within. If we can become more attuned to our physical and spiritual needs, instead of homing in solely on some unwritten future, we will enter this unknown tomorrow far more ready to deal with all that comes our way.